proudly sponsored by Maya Herbal Soap. I told you that everybody is obsessed with organic product. Every woman out there wants something organic. Everybody is running from chemical. We are all going chemical free. Therefore, Maya Herbal Soap is the number one soap that you should inculcate into your beauty routine for treatment of pimples, skin rashes, eczema, foot rots. Give it a try for just 7 days and get back to me with all your testimonies. And we are live on Facebook at Radio Guy Online, and also on YouTube at Radio Guy Online. My name is Judith, and I'm here with Evans, bringing you a newspaper review. Good morning, Evans.
Yeah, good morning, Judith.
How was your night?
Was pretty good.
I think you are one of the very few people who've mentioned my name right. I hear Judith.
Judith.
I hear Judith. I hear Judith. I hear Judith.
Yeah.
Judith. Somebody will say Judith, but it's Judith.
Yeah.
Judith.
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning my name right. And today let's get into issues in our daily guide. To start with, the MPPs on the front page, the MPP policies lack senses, says Mahama. And also this can be found on page 3, and also on page 6 we have President Katsor for first ever waste plant in the western region, a step in the right direction for sanitation in Ghana. And also on same one, page 6, we have our roads Philly. Our roads are Philly, not green book stuff, says Nana. And also on page 6, also MIF clears on Ijapa royalties. And on page 3, we have Baumia throws open challenge to NDC, and NLA rakes in 30 million. That is also on page 6. And on the back page of the daily graphic, we have football will return soon, according to President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And we also have princesses maidens hit by COVID-19, a development story on 7 of maidens from the black princesses and the black maidens who tested positive for coronavirus. And in some international football news, Lazio chief despises Silva is also at the back page, and Coleman takes over Barca. That is the news that is trending on the daily graphic.
Oh, okay. So this is daily graphic. I am with daily graphic, and on the front page of the daily graphic, some EC stuff over here. 2020 general election. EC can't implement ROPA, and then government gives financial support to young female entrepreneurs. That story can be found on page 16 of the daily graphic. Ifia Kwesimintin recycling plant construction takes off. That story can be found on the page 16 of the daily graphic. President Akufo-Addo embarked on a tour to the western region, and then he cut short over there for the construction of the recycling plant to begin. On the back page of the daily graphic, Mashlock disburses loans to poultry farmers in Ashanti region. Mantrak donates PPE to health institutions. To the inside, we have inside today in the daily graphic. This is Inside Africa. ECOWAS suspends Mali from decision-making bodies, and then we have 20 to contest CPP positions. That story is found on the page 17 of the daily graphic. And then Kaya benefit from projects to mitigate effects of COVID-19 also could be found on the page 13 of the daily graphic. President urges communities to take advantage of mining scheme. Government distributes free bulbs next month.
Another freebie. We were warned by Kweku Bako yesterday that we were warned by Kwesi Pratt, yes, yesterday that Guardians, we shouldn't think like this 50. We are going to pay for it one day.
I mean,
so don't be surprised if next year
yeah,
things go high and the dollar rate the dollar rate also falls again. Or,
yeah.
And all that. I mean, some of these things are just.
So I don't know. Maybe you don't have a bulb in your house, so maybe from next month, government is going to provide you with
light bulbs.
Yes. So I mean, this is another good news for us. Free. I don't know what is happening in Ghana.
Well, according to the president, he says they are not giving away any freebies, but he is providing a relief during a pandemic because they care.
But what? I mean, these bulbs, what are they going to do?
Well,
just
electrical. I just don't know. Probably Accra is too darkened.
No, but we have a lot of street lights
that are solar
off and all that. I mean,
well,
so why would they provide the bulbs?
Maybe they are street bulbs. We'll get into that story.
Anyway, political interference, soft punishment to blame. Experts are saying this. I mean, yeah, this is also true. Political interference, soft punishment to blame. Yeah, and then in sports, Hearts will bounce back stronger. Professor Owusu is the one saying this, and this can be found on the page 47 of the Daily Graphic. So these are the stories making headlines. Yeah,
and in the Daily Graphic also there is a very catchy report here on the page 13, which says that porn website boss get 300,000 Ghana cedis bill, and Ekopon North get new MC. And also, let's take a look at some issues concerning education. On the page 10 of the Daily Guide, it says that WAEC examiners details leak. We are also going to take a look into that in a while. And also in the middle page, that is page 9, we have a story on Dr. Mahumadu Bawumia. Says that 1,229 housing projects undertaken according to Mahumadu Bawumia. And also in some entertainment news, Nikki Samona's Bimon's political drama ahead of 2020 election. So let's look at the first story in the Daily Guide. It says that former President John Dramani Mahama has launched a blistering attack on President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in his new Patriotic Party administration, saying they are not applying common sense to planning. Rather, he said when he was in office, he took sensible decisions, claiming that all presidents under the Fourth Republic moved Ghana forward. But President Akufo-Addo has moved the country backwards. Now he said, and I quote, "Government is planning and government is common sense, and that is what NDC is doing, using planning and common sense." He fired in the Ketu North constituency in the Water region, where he is currently on a campaign tour. And also in respect to that, also the Vice President Dr. Mahumadu Bawumia on Tuesday unveiled government infrastructure projects within the past 3.5 years, and through an open challenge to the National Democratic Congress flag bearer ex-president John Dramani Mahama. That can also be found on page 3 of the Daily Guide. And also there is a story, an editorial story, that's what my mind says, COVID-19 committee that never was. So if you have the chance to grab the Daily Guide, you can actually look into that story. Now let's look at what the National Lottery Authority, that is the NLA, and KGL as in the recent deal between the National Lottery Authority, NLA, and KGL Technology Limited is set to rake in a whopping 30 million Ghana cedis revenue for the state, a forecast which industry players says is unprecedented in the annals of gaming authority. Now the NLA is a major contributor to the consolidated fund, and the new deal with KGL would make the state richer by that amount. That is occurring even during COVID-19 restriction points at the ingenuity of the management of the game. So that is some updates on that. Let's look at what the president is said on our roads being Philly. So we leave the president cutting a sword. You have that story.
Yeah.
The president cutting a sword over the waste plant in Western region.
Yeah, that story can be found on page 16
Okay.
of
The Daily Graphic. Now, the president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he said the new Patriotic Party administration has constructed railroads across the country and not those that are only found in the Green Book. Now, that is a major shade, especially as we are in the election year. And it was also said by Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia that the NPP has undertaken 1,229 housing projects.
Wow.
220.
That story is really an interesting story.
Well,
wow.
Is he also said that he gave us a breakdown, which says that he says 2 of the projects have been completed and 14 others at various stages of completion. He indicated and continued that in the area of housing infrastructure, the focus had been on the provision of housing for public and civil servants such as teachers, nurses, and security services. Now, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia indicated that 2 housing units were under construction at Maguri in the Wa municipality of the Upper West region, and 12 housing units at the 4th Ridge in Cape Coast, 2 other housing units at Amosima Estate in Ibra Asebu, Kwamankese, all in the Central region, and 6 housing units at Insukwao House Estate in the New Juaben municipality of the Eastern region, and 120 housing units in the Palugu in the Upper East region. He also continued that 120 housing units were also under construction at Kejase at the Ichima Nwabaja in Wabauja. What? In Wabieja.
Yeah.
Okay, I was trying to prophesize it, but in Wabeja, at the district, in Wabeja district, and completed 2 housing units at Kwaraso in the Ashanti region, and also 11 housing units at Tonshu in the Sunyani municipality. So that is a breakdown of 1,229 housing projects that they say they are undertaken. I think they should be saying that it is now being embarked on, because some are not completed projects.
Yeah.
Foundation, you see. So let's just say that is one of those things that, well, if you're in government, they can grow. But we are going to be waiting for the NDC's remarks on this 1,229 housing project that has that has made it onto the list of Bawumia's updates. Now, in some entertainment news also, we have Shatawale, Wizkid, and Burna Boy making it onto Obama's playlist. I had a chance to see Obama's playlist yesterday, and I was really surprised. I wasn't really surprised that Already was on the song. That was a song that was recently released by Beyonce, which included Major Lazer and our very own Shatawale. That has been banging out, especially after the video was released. And also Nikki Simona's Bimon's political drama ahead of 2020 elections on the page 8 of the Daily Guide.
Okay, so in the Daily Graphic, some few stories also caught my attention. On page 20, there is a story here that says that Core Math 2 leaked. Investigations underway, and then we'll be getting into that story. I mean, but on the front page where we have EC can't implement ROPA. Let me go into that story. The Electoral Commission EC says it cannot implement the Representation of the People Amendment Act ROPA 2006 Act 6994 this year's general election. Following the passage of the law, Ghanaians in the diaspora had eagerly been waiting to, for the first time, vote in a general election in their places of residence. But for now, all their hopes have been dashed. According to the EC, Parliament was yet to act on the constitutional instrument CI that will spell out the modalities and guidelines to implement ROPA, which the EC submitted in June this year. The Deputy Commissioner of the EC in charge of corporate services, Dr. Bosman Eric Asari, explained to the Daily Graphic in an interview yesterday that the CI would provide a framework and modalities on how Ghanaians abroad could register as voters and also vote. He said the EC had done its part by submitting the CI to Parliament, and that the onus was on the legislative body to act. However, sources at the EC have told the Daily Graphic that considering the challenges brought about by the coronavirus disease, sources in some political parties have also informed the Daily Graphic that the EC had been engaging them on the implementation of ROPA, and that the parties have also voiced out their consent about its implementation. So that is the EC saying that they can't implement that act for the Ghanaians in other countries to also partake in this year's election.
That was one thing that I was really looking forward, that we should be able to to implement that particular policy, since we are a country that according to sources and according to current updates, there are more than 3 million Ghanaians who are living outside, especially Nigeria. Nigeria happens to be one of the African countries that has many Ghanaians. So looking at this representation of the people act that has not been passed, I think is a very bad one for EC. EC should be able to do this, so people in the diaspora, Ghanaians in the diaspora, will also be able to vote when it is time to actually vote. Now, there has been some issues that has been addressed in agriculture by the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
Okay, so on page 20 as well, Commerce 2 leaked investigation underway. WAEC says this, and then the West African Examinations Council, WAEC, has admitted that one of the papers in the ongoing West African Senior School Certificate Examination, WASSCE, leaked minutes before it was written. In addition, a list of a yet-to-be finalized version of an examiner's list for the examination was put on social media. It mentioned Mathematics Core 2 paper as the paper that leaked, but explained that the questions were posted on social media platforms after the release of the papers from the WAEC strong rooms.
Wow.
The head of National Office of WAEC, Mrs. Wendy Enyonam Adi Lamte, briefing the Daily Graphic today, Wednesday, said it had instituted investigations into the leakage of the paper with regards to the examiner's list. She said, and I quote, the disturbing development had been reported the matter to the Cyber Crime Department of the Ghana Police Service. That's also very unfortunate. We have been experiencing
some of these things
for a very long time. Today it's not
this year in the history of WASSCE has been one of the notable and disturbing WASSCEs we've ever had.
I've never also since let me say, I'm not all that, but then I've never seen such an attitude by students who are writing the exams, and then people with the intention that they need to get papers before they go into write the apport thing. I've never seen it before. This year was too much.
They'll blame it on COVID-19 anyway. But then
how can COVID cause this?
Some said that they sat home for a while before they were asked to go back
So
to
they
school.
wanted a poor before.
Some
No,
said,
but whilst you were home, I think you were studying. Oh,
well, that's what it's supposed to be, but I don't know. But
This
same
thing-
way
this
also,
thing, I
I
don't blame
think
any
I
government.
feel WAEC is enjoying so much monopoly, too much monopoly in the first place.
you see-
That too much monopoly in the first place, and then we should have another examination body. Now, according to NAGRAT, they and the coalition of concerned teachers, they raised those issues when 14 of their teachers were suspended during the last WASI case that we had. And also, let's take it. I have a feeling that they are going to rewrite their core math
the
again.
math. Once
Yes.
once they've admitted that it was leaked and then investigations
it
are
wa- it
underway,
was- it was-
I
and it
think
was
they
on
should-
social
they should
media.
cancel it. Yeah,
It was on social
they should
media.
cancel it and then they'll write it again.
I
But then
believe so.
you see, the point is that I don't blame the students at some point too, because the kind of education that we are having here, the kind of training that they are giving to us in our educational institutions. Yesterday I said it here. It's like the chew and pour. It's not the
Chew, pour, pass, and
it's not the style where you learn, you are being taught, you read yourself, and then you try to evaluate things
Yeah.
to understand how things work. This is
Produce
like
your own
you
answer, but
this
this
is
one
like you chew
poor,
and then you go to
poor
and then
and
reproduce
pass.
it on an exams paper, which is very bad. And that's why they are doing this. They have to look into this kind of education. It is not helping us. The future of this country is at stake if we continue to do this.
Salif Johnson of Liberia says that West Africa should be taking a second look at our secondary education, and I think these are some of the reasons why. These are some of the reasons why we
Yeah.
need to really look into our educational
No,
system.
but why
over
is it that we can't assess students according to the what they have been doing throughout their stay in school? That's how it should be. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be like, okay, so at the end of the day you are going to write a final exam, and if you don't pass,
Right.
you I mean, that's it. Your life
Right.
is going to take a certain turn.
Well.
So I mean, if you are a student and you know that this is what is ahead of you,
Right.
you will try to do everything
Right.
humanly possible
Right.
to get a pass.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Positive change inside Medina. He never fails to leave us a message every day on our
Good
line.
morning to you, positive
Yes,
change.
good morning, positive change. He says, Nana Akufo-Addo and his appointees claim on daily basis that they have done more infrastructure projects more than any government